share some thoughts you had while you were flying to Korea? What did you have any thoughts going on in your mind?
I was asleep the full flight. I dreamt of an irrigation system in a lake, sort of similar to what existed in the old Aztec city that's now Mexico City. I was just there before I came here. We decided to do sort of a heavy metal contrast moment, silver and the gold, make new friends but keep the old sort of thing. Multicolored lip with multiple lipsticks from the Urban Decay palette. All-nighter setting spray to keep it all together. We did sort of a light glitter to cover the whole face. There's a little bit of Stay Naked Glow Foundation underneath it all. One of my favorite Martha Graham quotes about being an artist says, "There is no satisfaction at any time whatsoever. There is only a queer divine dissatisfaction, a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and makes us more alive than the others." That's Martha Graham. I see that look as a revelation of my true underlying being. We are not what we appear. We are something far beyond that. And I wanted to represent that. I wanted to connect to the theme of camp by exploring my innate self, which I think is inherently camp. I was inspired by my celestial family, the old gods. I was inspired by vaudeville with The Mask and also by kabuki theater. The inspiration was drawn from many places. Like Martha Graham says, never quite satisfied, but I was proud of what we did together. You see that one moment on the red carpet that represents a lot of work over months by many people to try and realize my vision. Yeah, sure. Stay Naked Foundation is just amazing. The range of foundations. You know, one of the beautiful things that's been an act of rebellion, innovation, and defiance by Urban Decay is to have foundations that suit every single skin tone, not just the skin tones of whiter people. And I'm really, really proud to be a part of that legacy. I do my own makeup all the time. I gravitate towards the lip more than anything else. Yeah. I think a manicure and a pedicure is just a great act of self-care. I think it's a wonderful thing to do just for yourself. It's like a beautiful way to relax and meet people. You know, you can always have a good conversation with the person getting a pedicure to your right or left. It's one of the practices that I've been drawn to since I was a young kid. I remember at a very early age getting teased in even kindergarten for having painted nails and people saying you're weird, and me being sort of taught by my family to always say thank you instead of trying to resist, because I am weird. And weird, of course, comes from old Germanic, and it means fated and meant to be. This is how I'm meant to be. I'm really interested in how, at this point in global history, artists, thinkers, activists, organizers can unify across the continents of the globe, and how we might be able to create a historic bloc to fight for space in these last days of opportunity to fight for space for living beings across the whole planet. So it's a pretty broad interest, but it's a critical one and a pressing one. I have 11 goats, and now there's a bunch of kids who have been born. They wander free across my land, and they have a really, really beautiful, loving relationship with all of the people who live on the farm. My ducks are doing great too, if you were wondering, except for the 3 who we just killed. They're not doing as well, except spiritually, in which case they're thriving spiritually. I think they were killed in a lot of prayer and with a lot of respect. The turkeys are doing great too. My Angora rabbits are thriving. My chickens are doing great. We get about 25 eggs a day. It's a sumptuous feast. The goats have been producing milk, and we've been making cheese. And we've been pasteurizing the milk and drinking it, and it's lovely. It's really, really exquisite. Nothing like drinking fresh milk. And yeah, there's a lot of mushrooms that we're growing. My friend Bernard has been inoculating about 1,000 logs with shiitakes and lion's mane and delicious gourmet edible mushrooms like that. The apple trees are thriving. We're expecting a really nice harvest from the apple orchard this year. The blueberry patch is doing great. We pull in about 60 pounds of blueberries a week. So everything's going pretty swimmingly in the farm. You know, I've seen myself as sort of a hot air balloon attached to a fairground that's been inflating for a while, and I really see, sort of from this time in my life forward, the really exciting time for me, which is sort of the snipping of the strings. So I hope that y'all will be along with me for that journey because there's a lot of pretty interesting stuff coming up. Well, I'll tell you the ones that I can tell you about because they're absolutely confirmed are Fantastic Beasts 3, the Flash movie. I'm making more music with Sons of an Illustrious Father, the band I'm in, and I'm also making some music on my own, which will be sort of a new project, a solo project. You know, I've got sort of some basics going on. I want to learn a lot, but I know like 안녕하세요, 밥 먹었어, 대박, 사랑해요, things like this. But I'm really open to learning more, and I don't feel like I know quite enough yet to get by. There's a musician here named Moo, who I call Dad. He's my Korean father. I barely knew his name until recently. He's a really unknown artist who's just one of the most incredible souls I've ever met. He's an older gentleman. He hosts groups of folks in sort of spontaneous music making, what we might call a jam session. He does it most nights of the week. And he's really just a legendary artist who will hopefully be releasing some of his recorded music soon. And so I'm really excited to see him a little later on.
To our W Korea
course,
fans.
Of course, I got these. I got this for y'all. I got that for y'all. I can do this for y'all. And then I do this. But it's also a blade to cut through delusion. 안녕하세요, yo.